Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I remember
I
Anna did
got like I
the
said better.
the thing you did said there. Anna did the same thing to a
Oh, like she
motorcycle,
was
right?
like, oh, she,
You know the bottom of my road where you pull out
yeah.
onto the big road. Well, Anna pulled out there. I was in the car. She pulled out. She didn't see this bike, and he didn't hit us, but it must have pissed him off because he must have had to really like slam on the brakes and then go round us. And when he went round us, he beeped, and then Anna was like, "Oh shit, I've just pulled out on that bike. I didn't see him." So he beeped his little horn like quite badly, and then he drove past us on like an illegal passing lane. He went right alongside the car, giving Anna the finger, and and I just started laughing. I just laughed out loud, and then Anna was like, "Oh well, I guess I kind of deserve that." And I was like, "Well, to be fair, honey, you kind of did because you just nearly killed that guy." And she was like, "Oh well, call it even." And uh,
Like I
and
said,
then
mine.
Anna
We're
just
live, by
waved
the
at him.
way.
Anna was like that. She's like she apologized to him, and he just gave her the finger again and drove off, which made me laugh again.
Like I said, if to me, I feel like if I was like 100% responsible for that, like, yeah, I would have been like, "Hey, dude, sorry, I didn't apologize to you because I didn't see him. Like, there was no
Yeah,
way he
yeah,
was there. If you were speeding and breaking the law, like, and that's the reason why you almost like, I almost got you almost slammed into me. Like,
yeah.
that's on you. And based on the way he was driving and how irrational he was, yeah, he was speeding. Yeah, he wasn't just calmly riding. Yeah. Oh, so no, we're live, but nobody's on yet. But what if we just should just do it? We should just do an introduction anyway. We're here. We're here, guys. We're back. We're starting our weekly, like a little Q&A.
Yeah, this is
Uh,
so much easier than editing for like 2 hours.
we do have some videos that we're working on, and yeah, so yeah, we figured, yeah, exactly. So while we're like putting together the new season, and we do have a lot more exciting things that we're working on that we can't talk about, and so while that's all going on behind the scenes, we come out and we should talk to you guys, and also just kind of let you guys know what we're up to, and
How
just
our
keep you in the
week's
loop.
been, I guess.
Yeah, exactly.
Good
And
to
we're
update each
always
other as well, real time.
absolutely, and we're always up to like something. So Steve definitely is. He's always on holiday at least every weekend, especially now,
Oh, now the
especially
sun's
the warmer
out. Woohoo!
weather. Yeah, that the sun's out. So yeah, while
We'll probably do like 6 months of rain coming soon, so might as well enjoy it while it lasts.
yeah. So yeah, Steve, how it start with you? So one of the things that what do you want to come up with? What do you like to talk about?
Couple of things to talk about this week. So one of them was my experience on the seafood pod. So we'll talk about that, and then I was going to talk about last week's camping trip and this week's camping trip. And I think that was pretty much.
Oh, and you got your bachelor party, or right, or you're
Oh
planning,
yeah, the
or you're
stag
working on,
do
or
as well. Yeah,
stag.
so we'll talk about that. Oh, and then Chris McCausland, the comedian. So we'll talk about
Oh, that's right. I say that's right. You just went
yeah.
to
So we'll talk
that
about Chris
comedian show.
McCausland, camping trip, the seafood pod, and the stag do. So I've got to be
So like, we
careful
gotta
what I
kick
say
it off
about
with
the
a
stag. I got to be careful what I say about the stag do because like anyone see this and
yeah,
get
right,
me in
right,
trouble.
right.
So do you do you do you know what a stag do is?
Yeah, we would just call it
Okay, yeah,
a stag party. Like, yeah, if we, yeah,
yeah.
but yeah,
So
it's,
I think other countries like America have copied it now. So I think most people know what it is, but I don't know how it varies from country to country because people have different variations. But it's an old English tradition that goes back like hundreds of years, right? And we have a stag and a hen. Right, the stag is the man, the hen is the girl, and or the bride, if you like. And the way the stag works in Britain is it's not a very pleasant experience for the stag, right? That guy gets usually, I mean, back in the day, like when my parents were young, you would mostly strip them naked, shave their head, maybe chain them to a lamppost or do something terrible and really brutal to them. And now in modern days, it's kind of softened a little bit. We'll probably do things like put them in fancy dress, make them look ridiculous, and you know, I don't know. There's all kinds of pranks. I've been on loads of stag do's, and Some are more brutal than others, especially when you're young. I mean, if you get married when you're 25, oh dear, you're going to get annihilated by your friends because they're going to want to.
Yeah, see, in the US, it's not like that. It's more like a party. It's more like,
Yes.
yeah, obviously a stripper
Yeah.
or whatever, like something crazy, or go to Las Vegas or plan, just do something that the
Yeah.
bachelor. Usually you make it something that like the stag wants to, that he's totally into and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But
It's the
yeah, we
opposite
don't
here.
get harsh. Yeah, yeah, we don't
Yeah.
go like we're gonna try to,
And
yeah.
quite often the stag doesn't know what's happening. So usually there'll be like a WhatsApp group that the stag will set up. He will then
Yeah.
invite all his work mates, all his friends, family. And usually the father of the bride will come and his father and his brothers and all that, all the guys. And then usually he will leave the WhatsApp group or be terminated from it. And then you all plan, like, what we're going to do. Should we dress him up as a woman? Should we dress him up as a stripper? Should we call a stripper? If they do call a stripper, quite often they'll just get a big jacked black dude
Yeah,
to
yeah,
grease him
yeah.
up and just humiliate him, or you know,
Oh, jeez.
sometimes they'll like, I don't know, handcuff him to a dwarf that'll walk around with you all night, or
What happened on yours?
um, well, mine was quite good. I had two, right? I had one in Manchester, and
Okay.
I had one in Bangkok. Um, and mine was okay. I didn't really get any major grief because I didn't. I was like, no. I was like, you're not dressing me up, and you're not ruining my entire like weekend. I don't want my head shaving. I don't want to wake up with any tattoos. Um, nothing like that. And I got married. I got married quite late. I wasn't I wasn't in my 20s or whatever. Um, so my stag do was pretty good. What we did was we played. Have you ever played pub golf?
Pub golf. No, what would that be?
So we planned a course around Manchester of um 18 pubs.
Hmm.
Like on a golf course, you have 18
Right,
holes, and a pub is
right.
sometimes called a watering hole. So 18 pubs, 18 holes. And it was like a circular route around Manchester. We all got terrible golfing outfits, right? So we all, like the proper
The
old
checkered
school
thing,
checkered things
like,
and a
yeah,
little
yes.
cap and, really, really, really horrible, really bad ones. And then
Oh, that's awesome.
we all got toy golf clubs,
Oh my God.
and you had to drink a pint of beer in every single
Yeah.
pub, um, and complete the course. And in each course, there was some kind of, sorry, in each pub, there was some kind of challenge that you had to do, like either put a ball into a empty glass, or two teams drinking games and shots and all that sort of stuff. You know what the British pubs are like for bloody
Oh yeah.
shots and you know carnage and everything. It was it was a whole lot of fun. Um, and I think there was only about four of us that made it to like the 18th pub because people just got so, what do you call it, blind drunk
Oh, wasted. Yeah, yeah,
or
yes, yes,
wasted,
yes.
yeah, including my
Yeah,
dad, who had to be bloody put in a taxi and sent home because he was absolutely wasted. Um,
yeah.
so yeah, that was my UK one. And then this
That sounds not so
guy's,
bad.
so I'm planning this one now, and all the young lads in the group are like, yeah, let's do this, let's do that, let's take him to Vegas, or let's go to Prague and all this stuff. And I've said to my mate, I was like, right, what do you want? And he's like, look, it's my second time getting married. I'm almost 50. He said, I don't want any horrible things happening. And he said, we can't, usually what will happen nowadays, most people have an international stag do, um, and a UK based stag do. Um, and he's like, I'm not having an international stag. So everyone is gutted. All the lads are like, oh, come on, let's just go to Prague, or somewhere in Eastern Europe where it's like super cheap for beers and stuff. But he's like, no, I don't want to do that because a lot of people won't be able to afford it. So he just wants to go out on a daytime drinking session in some of the daytime bars in Manchester. They've got a nice big outdoor areas where we can sit in the sunshine, have a few drinks, and he's got, because a lot of his mates are like in their late 40s. Some of them will need to get home because they've got kids to pick up from
Yeah, yeah,
little
yeah.
sports and stuff like that. And then the younger guys, like his wife to be's like younger brothers and stuff, they're gonna want to go out to like a lap dance bar or a nightclub or anything. So he kind of wants it to suit everybody, the younger people
Right.
and the older people. So it's just going to be that. But because I'm the best man, it is my job to fully organize the stag do, to fully organize the whole thing, and make sure that we get the stag do that he kind of wants. But he can't get off too lightly. He's going to have something. So I've prepared a list of tasks for him to complete on his stag do. I've not got them all yet, but this fit he'll have to complete these tasks. There are certain things on a stag do, right? Like, even if you want a nice one, like there will still have to be some humiliation. It's just got to be,
Right.
otherwise it's not a real stag do. And also you need some of them for the speech, for the best man speech at the wedding, because that's about absolutely roasting the groom.
Now
Um,
that's similar. Yes, 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 we do that.
you do that at an American wedding, it
Yeah.
would be to
Yeah,
like
yeah.
tell
To
embarrassing
yeah.
stories about the
Yeah,
groom and
yeah.
just
Absolutely,
really
absolutely.
like bust the balls type thing.
Yeah, that's different. Yeah, we do that's the same. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. Sharing funny stories and stuff. Yeah,
So
absolutely.
he'll have a task like he'll have to get a bra off somebody.
Oh, oh,
Um,
geez.
he'll have to kiss a. I'm gonna get him. He's got to kiss the back of a bald man's head, with or without permission. It'll be stuff like that he's got to do, and if he doesn't do it, there'll be a forfeit. Like he'll have to you know,
Oh, my goodness.
he'll have to
That
drink.
that's
He'll have to drink like 10 shots or something and stuff like that. So, but it's kind of funny because
oh my God.
his son is coming on his stag do because he obviously he's not a young guy. He's nearly
No,
50.
so he's got yeah, so
So
he's got old man.
he's got a 30-year-old kid that's coming.
Oh wow.
Like my godson is 30.
That's crazy.
That's how old I am. I am old as fuck.
We're all getting there.
He's he's actually a granddad.
That's
Like
crazy too.
like like two of my best mates that I've been mates with since well, you would call kindergarten, we call play school. Um
Yes.
like two of them are granddads.
That's crazy. My David is the one you met David.
He's
He's
a
a
granddad.
granddad.
Yeah, yeah.
50
It's
and he's
weird,
fit
isn't
and
it?
he's 50. Yeah, it's like I
Yeah.
had people I used to work with that were like it's kind of I guess it's kind of common for the people in the Spanish culture to be grandparents really young. Like they were like 40 and they
Yeah.
were
Wow.
because like because they had their kid young and
Yep.
then they had one yeah. It's like
Well,
that's crazy.
over here we finished school at 16 and then
Yeah, right.
a lot of my friends, like that guy, his wife at the time, she was 16, left school. They had a baby when she was 16, and he would have
Right.
been, I think he would have been about 18 when he had his first son, 18, 19. Um,
Yeah. Like
and
jeez.
now, he's got, I don't know,
That's
he's got like a
that's
30-year-old, he's got a 4-year-old, so he's got like
oh
a
wow,
big span of kids.
that's
Yeah.
a big gap.
Yeah.
Man.
So yeah, that's been what's going on my week. I've been trying to trying to coordinate like 25 guys who've all got different ideas and different budgets, and some people want to go abroad and have an international stag do, which is going to cost hundreds of pounds, and other people are like, well, I can only go for an hour, and it's just like being the one person that's trying to coordinate and organize this whole thing. It's yeah, it's just kind of fun, but also kind of stressful. So I've been doing that all week. So that's one thing.
That's like
And
should be fun.
then I went to watch Chris McCausland on Sunday night.
And you said that's like the local guy with RP, the
Yeah, so
comedian that's like in your
he's a stand-up comedian who went blind a few years ago due to RP. Not sure how old he is. Definitely I think he's probably older than me. Um,
Oh, okay.
so he was a website designer, probably a bit like you. He's into graphic design, website
Oh,
design.
okay.
Started to lose his vision. Um, and he was, really funny guy. He was sort of saying like, how did he know his RP was getting bad? And he's like, well, my website started getting uglier and uglier. Um, so sort of taking the mickey out of himself, kind of humor, if you know what I
I
mean.
like the one that you sent us when you said they were mentioning how he had to pretend to look like he was watching the other dancers.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Because well, I think you have the same show in America, don't you? Don't you call it Dancing with the
Like
Stars?
yeah, but you guys what do you guys call it again? Yours
We
is different,
call
right
it
though?
Strictly Come Dancing.
That's it. That's it. That's
But
it.
it's the same show.
Same
Ballroom
premise,
dancing.
right?
Yeah, yeah. So So they normally get average, not super famous, but like, medium-ish
Like,
famous
yeah, D
celebrities.
we would call them D-list celebrities.
Yeah, yeah. So we
Is
get
that
same
uh,
D-list
okay?
celebrities. They get paired up with a professional dancer, and then they learn the routines, and then every Saturday night they perform, and the public vote them on and off. A bit like, America's Got Talent,
Oh yeah, yeah,
X
right.
Factor, or whatever. So anyway, he was the random blind guy that got picked. Obviously he's a comedian. He's famous. He does a lot of like TV shows and presenter gigs and stuff like that, as well as his own stand-up comedy. And he went on the dancing show, and I don't think anybody expected him to do as well as what he did, including him. He thought he would only be on for a couple of weeks. It'd be an amazing
And
experience, and
then
that'd be it.
right, and then
But
just yeah,
he ended up staying on for the whole thing, and I think he actually won the entire show.
yeah, didn't he? Right?
I think he
Because I
did. I
think I
think he
remember
won.
seeing that.
Yeah. Which, considering they were trying to teach him moves, and obviously he can't see what they're trying to. It's like, oh, do this, do that, and he's like, I don't know what you mean. So they're having to put him in them positions and stuff. So anyway, it was kind of he's really famous now. If people didn't know him before from his comedy, a
Oh,
lot of
now they're
people will know
like,
him because
yeah,
that's
then
like a really popular show. So yeah, that was good. Went to see him. There was only one other person in the crowd that had a cane other than me. Um, that the group of people I was with spotted one. Um, so that was kind of good. So yeah, that was good. That was funny. Um, so enjoyed that. And then the other update, just to give you, um, at the weekend I was camping, as you know, and I
yep.
went paddleboarding for the first time with my Meta glasses. And I thought this would be awesome now because I can paddle along, I can get lovely photographs, I can film a guide, I can film everything, and I don't have to risk taking my phone out of my pocket. And I was like, this is going to be
Dropping it,
so cool.
dropping it in the
Yeah.
water, which that would be wonderful.
And then I thought to myself, I don't know if these Meta glasses are actually
Some,
waterproof, and I should have
um,
probably checked this out before I got into the middle of the lake.
yeah, don't fall in, or
But,
if I do, don't go underwater.
you know, an iPhone is $1,000, a pair of Meta glasses is 200. So I
So
suppose if they
it's
did get trashed, it's not the end of the world.
I would imagine they must be. Well, no, didn't I think Vinny said they didn't survive too well, like the speakers.
Think he
I
said,
think it
yeah,
was
didn't he say
something.
he dried them out for a
Yeah,
bit and then they sort of worked again? So,
like they got yeah, someone like had a friend that I guess they
mm,
got wet, but they work still, but yeah, the speakers were not the same afterwards.
yeah.
Which I'm
So
sure
that
that's gonna be something they update with the new ones, I bet.
they'll probably make like a sports pair, won't they? That are
Yeah,
like
right,
ultra
yeah.
tough, like the Meta glasses Ultra that are waterproof and
Oh yeah, because
shockproof and
that's a good that's like you could obviously sell more now because you'll have like your regular yeah wearing ones and then you can have your yeah sport
mm.
ones for the guy who wants to go out and be rugged and go swimming and whatever.
But for me, what's really cool about the glasses is if I'm on the paddleboard paddling
Yeah.
along and Anna says to me, I'm over here, and I look in that direction, I'm guaranteed to take a photo of what I'm looking at.
Yeah.
Whereas if I use my phone out on a bright sunny day, I can't see
hmm
anything on that screen. I've got no idea. I can't tell if my camera's
If
on
yeah,
or
if
if
you're
I'm on
taking a
selfie.
picture,
I get
oh
back,
right, yeah.
I get back on land thinking I've got loads of cool shots and it's just
No, you
selfies
got
of my chin.
in
And
your
I'm like,
chin.
oh,
That's it. Yeah,
fuck.
yeah.
And sometimes I won't even know until I get home because I can't, if it's bright and sunny, I've got no chance. I don't know about you. I just cannot see my phone outdoors in bright light.
That
It's
or
just,
you might not even realize you're taking a picture. You might be taking a video.
yeah,
Like sitting there like
yeah,
thinking like, oh, you're just starting and stopping the video. It's
yeah,
just like quick
exactly.
little bit.
And then if you got the voiceover on, it just makes
Yeah.
it doubly hard because now you're trying to unlock the
Oh,
phone to
right.
get the camera, and obviously all this time
Now, yeah.
you're
Yeah, I
balancing on a
feel that.
paddleboard with a paddle in one hand, so you've only got one hand to try and do it all. So
Yeah, I can
having the
relate to that one. That's
glasses
stuff. Yeah.
has been epic for that.
Yeah,
Anyway,
like you
that's
said,
my
that's a
week.
game changer.
How's your week been? What have you been up to? Tell everybody what you've been. What's your focus been this week?
So we're headed into I mentioned last week when we're on about having the opportunity to do the five borough bike tour in New York City. And
Yes.
since that was my first time doing it, I was like, I could have just signed up and just we could have just done it as, regular entrance and stuff like that. But I was like, you know what? My first time doing it, I'm gonna pick a charity that's like, something I can really relate to and all that stuff. So I saw one, I got an email from Team See No Limits, and I was like, oh, well, this is like a you know, perfect thing. Like I wanted to do this, event, and I got this email, so it's fate. So I signed up with Team See No Limits, and we committed my guy, my pilot, and I, Scott Roderick, to raise $1,600 for them. This is a collaboration because I think normally in the past I've seen from their past events they've actually had their own charity, like their own team, with just the Lighthouse Guild. But now the Lighthouse Guild paired up with Foreseeable Future Foundation,
Wow.
and Team Sony Limits is like kind of basically about getting, bikes and, bike education and things like that for, you know, the low vision and, blind community and stuff like that. So,
Oh, sounds cool.
yeah. But I just thought like, hey, that's right up my alley and it should be easy to raise money for something that, I find if you raise money for things that you like really like care about,
Mm.
it makes it a little easier than when you're trying to raise like if you pick a
1600 is
charity.
not too bad.
No, not yeah, not I was like, yeah, okay,
Some of it's quite can be a lot of, I think people don't realize how hard it is to raise money because like like you, I've done so many events and so many people have sponsored me time and time and time
And
again.
it's the same pool.
Like
You're pulling from the
yeah,
same pool. Yeah.
and they're like, oh, we sponsored you for your half marathon. Now you want to sponsor us for this, and then you want
Yeah,
to do the
it's
Warrior Games for CF, and I'm like, oh yeah, and I try now to sort of try and space it out to like one a year, which is sad
yeah.
really, but money's tight for people. People living paycheck
Oh
to
yeah.
paycheck, and every time they go on Facebook, I'm asking for a donation, and people
That's the
don't
problem.
realize it's
So
tough, isn't it?
yeah.
It's tough.
Yeah. So that's why this time what I did was, yep, I've been hitting up obviously my usual pool, but then what I did
Yep.
was I went through my emails and I was just emailing my fundraising page to like whatever emails I had, addresses I had in my emails.
Nice,
I reached out to my bar, the Corner Tavern, they donated.
nice,
Any business like I tried to hit up and some of my guides from like that I had in Houston and like they donated. So like
nice,
I hit just try to space it out, like exactly. So you're not hitting the same pool because yeah, exactly. Mike, you were just raising money for this, and now you're raising money for this, and yeah, after a while, that just really becomes it just dries
mm.
up, yeah, yeah.
I mean, it's hard work,
So
and you feel bad if you don't get the amount,
yeah, because you're
you
just
know.
you're trying. I try to earn my donations too, so that's kind of
Yeah,
works too. Because I was stuck at like 445 for a while, so I was like, guys, okay, from every donation from here on of $25. My pilot and we're gonna ride 2.5 miles. So if we hit our goal of 1,600, that's gonna be 462 miles that we're gonna owe you. So make me work, and that worked. I think that that started sparking things a little bit. And as I said, now we're up to like 1,500. So I'm only $100 away, and the deadline is Friday.
woo.
So
So
if you
anybody
guys want to
watching this,
donate, yeah.
how do they donate? Anyone watching this, where do they go? What's the
You can head
link?
over. You can
On
either
your
head over to
bio?
my Facebook. It's all in my bio. It's that Facebook bio. It's on my Tubiac Maniac Instagram bio. So either that, Michael Tubiac on Facebook. There, it's right in my bio. If you want to friend, if you want to follow me, I think you should be able to see the bio information. If not, yeah, go over to Instagram. It's there. But yeah, absolutely. You can comment on this. I'll be happy to share it with you. Maybe I could probably, paste it in the or put it on the. What I'll probably do is I'll put it in the, the thing
In the
below,
comments below.
description. Yeah, in the description. I'll add it after
Cool.
this is over. But yeah, that'd be great, guys. You help me. Like I said, it's if you got $20, you got $10, whatever. Yeah, every donation is, it all adds up to $100 if we have left. That's all we got left. So, but yeah, it's raising money is very tough. Yeah, and in our world, we're always, especially we're always doing some type of, charity fundraising,
Yeah, I try. I'm
especially
I'm
now.
I'm sticking to one a year now,
Yeah,
just
you're doing the
just
CF
to
Warriors,
give
just the CF
everybody.
Warriors.
But I've not picked one this year. It probably will be
Oh,
the
okay.
Cystic Fibrosis Warriors because that's on in October. I haven't committed yet, but we'll see. See how it goes.
Yeah, I'm with you. I was like, and I was, it's funny. After last year, I was trying to do a lot of fundraising, and it wasn't working out. And I'm like, you know what?
Yeah, last year, God, you
I'm
did what?
tapped.
Strongmen, you did
Well, I was trying to do
marathons, you did
that, and then I was trying to raise, yeah, for two
veterans, and
different
then ICANN
marathons.
Alliance. Yeah, it's a lot,
Yeah,
isn't
and I
it?
was just like all stuff, and I'm like, you know what? I'm just like, you know what? Yeah, I'm toast here. Like, and I feel like pulling from the same pool anymore, and I just want to go out and just do events. So
I wonder how
if I
much
can't,
money you've raised for charity in total.
I don't know. Yeah, because you know what? Blind Veterans was cool because see, what people didn't realize also is, and I don't know if this is true for your stuff that you've done. If you don't hit your total, you're responsible for the rest.
Yeah.
So it's when they say you're committed. You're committed. And some of them, I think, I don't know if Team Limits is that way. I think there's like a certain percentage you got to make too, which I think we have already hit it. But I really want to hit that goal now that I'm like right there at the finish line. You actually
Yeah.
want to obviously you want to cross it now. Um, but yeah,
Because
no,
yeah,
most
it's
of the
the
time
same
you're
here.
hit stat
Like,
for it.
yeah, in the UK, if you're going to do like a big marathon, like the London Marathon, usually you'd have to qualify and get in the
Yeah, right.
ballot. And it's
Or
really like I know people that have been trying to get in the London Marathon for 10 years and have never got
yeah,
in.
they're still I was
But
fortunate, like I said, to run that.
if you
Yeah.
if you go through a charity,
See,
each
yep.
charity will get like 10 spaces. And can you imagine if somebody just took one of them spaces and then only raised like $30 just so they could get
Yeah.
a cheap
I
ticket to
got
do the London
I got
Marathon, you know what I
really
mean?
I got really lucky with that one because I was like, hey, I'm gonna have the full British experience and decided to pick a British charity
Yep.
here in America. Like I saw the Blind Veterans UK and I was like, yeah, that sounds good. And that's tough. And I managed to raise, I think I didn't hit the goal. I think the goal was like $1,500 or 60 something, or maybe
You
like
were very
I might have been
close though, weren't
1,500
you?
pounds. I was close, like 11. I think I got like
Yeah.
1,100 like pounds, but like yeah, so I was close, and yeah, no, they were like they when I met them when we went down, after the race and went down to the the pub there where they were all at, and like them, they were like excited to have an American like raising money for them, and they were telling me how they're gonna become like global charity, and also like they were like very yeah, they were very
Yeah,
excited, so they
that's
were
right. Because
happy with that.
they'd booked out a little area and they'd put on a few sandwiches and stuff. So that would have cost them a bit
Yeah,
of money
yeah,
to sort that out for for all the people that basically have raised, money for them
yeah.
and stuff. That's where we met
But
Ryan, wasn't it?
yes, yep. That's where we met up with Ryan and everything.
Had a few
That was
beers.
cool. Yep. So that was cool to me. Like that was the fact that I felt bad I didn't meet the goal, but they were like, no, they were cool. Like they were fine that like
Yeah, but
what I raised was,
at least you
you
wasn't a
know,
scumbag that just took that
yeah,
place
just did
and
like,
then
yeah,
said, there
did
you go,
like,
there's $30, which is like, it probably cost them more than that to get the actual ticket for the race, if you know what I mean.
yeah,
So
right,
that's good.
yeah. And the entry fee wasn't a lot of money for it because we had to pay. I paid the entry fee myself, and it was 100. I think it was £100, maybe something like that.
Yeah,
So it wasn't
sounds about
terrible.
right.
So like, and that was fine with me. So I already paid my way in terms of like I paid the actual entry, so it wasn't like they had to
Yeah,
cover that. But yeah, I still I usually like to hit my goal. So but like
yeah,
it's just really tough when you're like
yeah.
doing
I
like
feel you,
and
bro. I feel you.
I was putting up flyers for that one. We were going out. Me and Alan were going out to like big cities here where I'm from, and we were like putting flyers up in places and stuff like that. So like once again, trying to get another pool. Yeah, trying to hit up a different pool. Yeah, yeah,
I, I get asked quite a lot to do them as well. And like at
yeah.
work, we've always got loads because I work in a big company with a lot of people. People are like,
Okay.
hey, we've got 10 places at this place. Do you want to do this? It's for this charity, it's for that charity. And I'm always like a bit cautious now because I'm like, no, I can't.
Yeah,
I
because
can only really
yeah,
do it. Like you, I'm only going to do it if I think I can get very close to the goal.
yeah. If you
Because I
can, yeah.
know it's gonna be really tough.
Because yeah, it's also got to be a charity. Like if you're trying to get people who aren't, like this
Yeah,
one for instance, like Team See No Limits. It's like at least like I could sell people on this. People like,
yeah,
they're supportive of me. They love what I do. So it's like, well, if you support what I do, then this would be you should support this because
yeah.
this is what, this helps out other people like myself to
Well,
get
it's funny.
likes and stuff.
One of the guys that works for me, he's doing his first half marathon, and he's doing it for Huntington disease, which his dad had
Yeah.
before he passed. Um, Now the good thing is he's not really done anything before, So his pool is fresh, if you know what I mean.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
So
It's the best time. It's the
he's
best
getting
time.
loads of sponsors and people, and I've sponsored him because, like, again, he's never asked me for anything before. It's not like he does something every week. It's the first time out of all the years I've known him, I've never seen him doing any fundraising. So I was like, yeah, I'll donate to your page. Um, Whereas, I've got other mates, like especially some of my running contacts, they're doing like 2 or 3 half marathons a year, fundraising every time, and you're like,
No.
this
Oh,
costs me
I'd
way
like to
too
shout out
much.
though, I gotta shout out Cameron Beard because he was my biggest donator. He was my guide for my PR half marathon in Houston,
Nice,
and he's a big time lawyer. He
nice.
just won a case. He actually just won a case that uh, this company was trying to sue for like $289 million, and they won the case. So they lost. The other people lost. So then they didn't get the money.
Wow.
Um, so when I texted him, I sent him and I said, hey, I would greatly appreciate if you could, consider a donation. And he's like, hey, just I'm in the middle of a trial. It's still going on. He's like, but it should be over next week. He's like, just remind me next week. And which was this week. And so I reached out to him, and yeah, he's like, he's like, oh yeah, we won, and I was like, oh good, congratulations. And he's like, I'm on it. I'll donate today, and like that dude donated $500, so that was awesome.
Holy shit.
I was like, wasn't expecting that much, and that was amazing. So that took me all the
Wow.
way from 950, boom, right up to 1450. So
Nice.
and then we so yeah, and then I just got a $50 donation like a couple days ago. So like yeah. So that was definitely awesome. So but yeah. And that's like, you never know. And then you feel bad. You don't want to feel like you're trying to like hit someone up because they're good for
Yeah.
money, and you're
Yeah,
like,
yeah, yeah.
you just, there's definitely a lot of feelings like, yeah, and it's a good thing that we bring that up because like it's what we do a lot in our
Yeah.
positions, so it's not easy, just because you're like, oh, yeah, man, Steve's out there,
That's
always
what was
asking
good
for
about the Rocky
money.
Run because when you and I did the Rocky Run, I was so glad we weren't doing that for charity because I didn't,
Oh God,
on
no.
top of everything else, I didn't have the pressure of now trying to raise like $1,500 as well as coming to America, as well as
Oh no,
preparing for the
right.
run.
No, yeah,
Do you know what I
yeah,
mean?
like,
So it was nice to
yeah.
just do one for ourselves, just
Yes,
pay
right,
the
right.
fee, enter the race. Happy days, done.
And you know what? It's like we could 100% like done something because
Mm.
of like such a unique situation it was that we always say it
Yeah,
was.
yeah.
Um, and I'm sure people would have been like, "Oh my God, that's great," but like, and it would have worked out if we wanted to say make it
Yeah.
into something where we were going to give back or something. But yeah, at the same time, when you've got so much going on, yeah, between you traveling and and training and all this stuff, and it's like
Mm,
adding that in, it's like, it's just it becomes sometimes too much. So yeah,
mm.
props to anybody, not just us. Props to anybody who's who does charity work because it's work.
And it's funny in work, right? Because you think, oh, wow, I work in a big office. There's hundreds of people. If I send this round an email, I'm going to get loads of sponsorship. But the problem is,
Yeah,
like,
that's what I was thinking too.
like,
With
like, like 100 other people have just sent the same email. Hi, I'm raising this for cancer. Hi, I'm raising this for blind. Hi, I'm raising this for kids with CF. And you're like, oh,
yeah,
wow, it's like so
yeah.
many. It's a challenge. And, recently with the world economy and stuff, so fair play, mate. Good luck. Hope you hit your target.
Right. Thank you.
What else you been up to? Other
My
highlights for the
usual,
week?
teaching spin class. I always teach spin class. For those that don't know, I teach spin class at the
Nice.
YMCA in here in my
Lovely.
town. Been doing that for going on 5 years this July.
Wow.
Yeah, so yeah, no, that's really wild to me. I'm like, man, it's 5 years. It's just like you and I, because like when you and I started really becoming friends around that same time that I
Yeah,
started working. It was like
that's ace.
July, June, July. So I'm like, man, like
Five
5 years
years.
already. Yeah, yeah, like what?
It's gone,
So
it's gone
no,
quick.
but it's cool though. So yeah, no, that's yeah, what I keep doing there, trying to, yeah, just get out there. That's nice for me because, as a stay-at-home parent, being home all the time and
Mm.
stuff, oh, sorry, my dog is jumping on me, which means she has to go out.
Every time we go live,
Ah,
Foxy.
every time yeah, she has to do this. She needs to go out. Oh, that's okay. No, she can.
So if anyone's just joined, Mike and I are live. We're just talking about what we've been up to this week, our highlights. I've covered a couple of things that I've been up to. Been paddleboarding recently. Mike just randomly talking in the background. And we've been talking about fundraising and charity events because Mike's
I'm
got
back.
some
I'm back. I'm
charity.
back.
Here he is. He's just walked through
But
the RP
yeah.
logo like magic. That looks amazing.
Woo! Where am I?
Um,
Where am I? Oh,
You're
I'm
back.
in. Oh, yeah.
Hey, that's so cool.
Okay.
When you walked off, you literally walked up
Did
the
it look like I was
P.
going through, right?
It looked
Going
like
up.
he was
Oh,
walking up
sweet.
the P and then disappeared off. It's like that's awesome. It's so cool. It kept you in the shot,
No,
which is amazing.
that is hilarious.
Mm.
Oh no, but like, yeah. So, no, that's actually what I was saying. It gets me out of the house when you're staying. When you're kind of like surrounded by work, which is my house, which is because it's the reverse of most people,
Hmm.
where you leave your home base, you go to work, and then you come back home. Unless like you work from home, but you also have your own little like where you are right now,
Yep.
your work area,
Yep.
you know. So normally it's like, yeah, when you're done, you come home because you're coming home from work and it's your
Mm.
escape from work.
It's
So
like a
I'm always,
disconnect.
yeah, So to get out, just like I understand why same reason why you leave the house on the weekends and go on a holiday and all that stuff. It's just you got, just any chance to just not be home sometimes. You're like, I just want to, yeah, see the world and do. So when I go to the YMCA, even though it's work, it's not really work because I enjoy exercising. So it's like I'm getting
And it's the
paid to just
people, you're
run.
getting to speak
Oh
to,
yeah,
a lot, I mean, it might be like 8 people in the class and you get to speak to them and just have random
yeah,
talks. And,
oh
sometimes I
yeah,
know you go to the corner tavern with some of them. And like, I think that's
yeah. Thursday,
important,
every Thursday. Yeah,
I think that's
yeah.
really important. It's good for your head.
Yes,
Do
yes,
that.
yes.
Imagine just staying home all the time. That's not
Oh no, like
healthy.
imagine being on the couch the whole time and being all that. Yeah, I mean, it's just sometimes I understand why some people are like you see the groups that we always talk about and they're always depressed. It's like, yeah, you're depressed because you're sitting on the couch.
And
Like,
you're not moving.
get
You're not getting
out.
get a sweat on, get
Yeah,
your heart rate up, and then just go and
yeah,
speak
like
to people.
oh,
Like I found myself like, especially now using the cane. One
yeah.
sort of benefit that I don't really hear people talking about is weirdly, it can be a little bit of a conversation starter. And if
Oh yeah,
you're,
absolutely. Yeah,
if you're on a
yeah.
plane or a train, and somebody, you can be a little bit. Otherwise, you might not talk. I wonder. Like, I probably talk to more people now because of my cane than when I was
Oh
normal,
yeah.
if you
When
know what
I
I mean.
when I'm yeah when I solo travel, it's probably the most I talk to strangers.
Yeah.
And I'm an introvert. I'm
Yeah,
not someone that likes that,
believe it or
but
not, I actually am. I wouldn't necessarily just
like I
start
don't,
talking to
yeah, right.
strangers,
You wouldn't
but
just
like,
go, yeah, right, right.
hmm.
I agree.
But
So I think when you're in that situation, you go up to him and go, "Excuse me, like,
and
where
when
am
you're
I?"
so when you're solo traveling, right, also gives the other person an excuse or a reason to initiate a conversation with you, doesn't it? Like, oh hi,
Yep,
just
yes.
what's
Do
going on?
do you
And
need
then
any? Oh, yeah, I saw you walking. Do you need any help?
yeah,
Like, and
yeah,
you're like, yeah, yeah. Actually, I was just looking for an exit. Can you tell me where that is? Like,
kind
yeah,
of a
it's
weird
just
conversation starter, but it does happen,
it
doesn't
does
it?
work. Yeah, absolutely. I don't know many, and you realize that like a lot of people they just want to help.
Yeah,
You know?
mostly, nearly all, I would
Yeah,
say is
yeah. If
you build it up in your mind, it's gonna be like, oh my God, this is gonna be really
oh my God,
awkward.
yeah,
But
they're
then
good.
genuinely, people seem to. It's almost like
Yeah.
I'm doing a good deed because they go away feeling quite good about themselves and life because hey, I've just helped somebody, and that always feels nice, doesn't it? If you've done a good turn.
No, so yeah, so you're right though. The cane, where usually it's a fearful thing for people, or they think that like, oh, everybody's watching me. I always say, you know what? You're right. People are watching you, but it's not how you think.
Yeah,
And I'm known as. I mean, I bet you in my town, everybody knows who I am because
yeah,
they've seen me out, walking with my cane,
yeah.
and
Hopefully,
I
I'm
know
known
they're
as
watching.
hopefully I'm known as the hot blind guy. I hope that's
Yeah,
what
that's the goal,
in the gym. In the gym.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, there's the hot blind guy with the yeah. And it's like yeah. So absolutely, like I think you are being watched. Know you're being
Yeah,
watched, but no, most people are looking and going, "Wow, that's awesome that person's is just
that must be our nickname. You
doing
know the guy that walks around with the cane. That is just how you're going to be known in it, basically.
yeah." And so
A
just get
lot.
used
Yeah,
to that. Like it's not bad.
yeah.
It's not a bad thing. People always think like, "Oh, if I use the cane, people are gonna stare at me and
We've
I'm gonna
mentioned
be
this 1,000
uncomfortable."
times as well because what we've
Yeah.
mentioned is like the good thing is it gets you out of a sticky situation. Like if you do
Hey,
do something silly or you do knock over, like when me and you were in the bar in that hub and we knocked that drink. Well, I say we, when you knocked that drink over,
I
like
don't know what you're talking
that. That was
about.
good British humor there. Very excellent
Thank you, thank
sarcasm.
you, thank you,
Um,
thank you, thank you, thank you.
but that waitress, that girl, that server, whatever you
Oh,
want
she
to
was
call her.
awesome.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
she
she
didn't
was
give us any
awesome.
shit. But if we were just like
No.
two regular guys, she might have been like, "Oh, you two drunk or blah blah blah. Can you be more
Yeah,
careful?" But
no.
there
She
was
saw the
none of
cane.
that.
She's cool.
She was
Yep,
just like, "Oh
yep,
shit,
totally.
maybe I should have, maybe I should have done something different so that
Oh
guy
no,
didn't knock it
I
over."
remember.
Yeah,
Yeah, she was actually rather apologetic.
yeah, yeah.
And I actually left her a really nice review on Yelp because I was like,
Nice.
I
I
don't
didn't know
normally
that.
do that, but I
I didn't
did.
know
I
that.
was like, yeah, I
Yeah,
did. I went to the business. I said, listen, I was going here. I brought my friend, from the UK down and knocked a beer over, and um, she came right over. She apologized. Like she didn't really have to, and she cleaned it up and got me another beer. I wasn't, she didn't make me feel embarrassed or anything. So
that's
like,
super cool.
props. Like I
I
think she
think that
deserves
would
a
have
raise,
gone.
whoever she is.
That may have gone differently had we not had arcanes. We'd have just been like,
Oh yeah. Like what are
there's
you
two
doing here?
guys
Like,
sat there talking, not paying any
and then they,
attention, and
yeah, and
they've
they
just,
knocked the
for
beer.
no reason, just knocked a full pint straight off the table. What are you,
Oh, by the way,
blind?
we got Wonder on from the Sweden again, and
Ah,
he
excellent.
says he's still scared of using his cane.
I
So
get
so the
that.
question is, what's is the fear because of what we said? Like you're fearful because you're worried about people staring at you,
Or are you just
or
embarrassed?
like yeah, are you just kind of embarrassed to be like, oh, here's the blind guy, look
I
at
reckon we
him.
can guess between us, right? What are you guessing? You guess why you think he's scared of using the cane, and
Oh,
I guess my
I
guess.
think it might be a combination of both, honestly. I think he's probably yeah, like let's say yep, everyone's
I'm
gonna
gonna
stare at
guess.
him
I'm
and
gonna
he's
guess the
you're
reason
the
he's
blind
scared to use
guy.
his cane is he doesn't feel blind enough to use it because he's probably
Oh,
thinking,
that's
I've
another
got too
classic
much
one.
vision.
Not
That's a.
worthy enough. Yes, yes, that's
I'm not blind
yeah.
enough to use my cane. I can still see pretty well. Let's
Hey,
see.
yeah,
Let's see
yeah.
what he
And then
says.
if I use it, then I'm a faker. Which joke? We'll let you know something in our group chat we have going. That's actually a running joke that we all have.
Yeah.
We like anytime like someone comments, we'll be like, "Oh, I was out and I did this," and I'll be like, "Oh, you saw that? How'd you see that, you faker?" So we always bust each other's chops. He says, "Yes, he feels weird, as I still can see." I mean,
Yes. I
I
knew
mean,
it.
honestly,
I
dude.
think that's a point to me. I called it. That's
Yeah,
a point to me.
yeah. I could see, and I still use it. But I think what's funny. It happens. I don't know if this happened to you, Steve, when you started using one. I feel like when I use it, I'm blinder. Like you feel like you have to act, like it almost makes you act like you feel like you have to act a little more.
You've got to
I don't know if
like
it just does
act
it
up to it.
naturally.
Yeah, yeah. No,
Yeah.
I used to be like
Whereas,
that. Like if I got the
yeah, like
cane
yeah.
out, I'd go into full Stevie Wonder mode and be like, just smashing into stuff that I could see to prove I do need the cane.
Yeah. Now I'm more casual with it. Now I'm like, yeah, I don't really need it, but I'll use it as like a practice. But depending where I
Well,
am. But once I get into areas that's like I can't see, yeah, then I'll use it more aggressively.
what happened to me was obviously I could walk around without a cane, but it was becoming more and more difficult. So I used to
Oh, to
spend
pretend.
a lot of time looking for tripping hazards
Oh,
and
yes.
almost
Yes. Yeah.
expecting to bump into like a little post or a little step. But then what
Curb
was
or
weird,
cone or something.
yeah, exactly. But when I started using my cane, I actually became a lot more sighted because I stopped
Oh,
looking
now
at
you
the
don't have
ground.
to. Yeah,
Yeah,
right. Yeah.
like
Yeah.
now, I don't look at the ground. I don't really look where I'm going. I can wander along with my cane now, looking at the Eiffel Tower or hot girl walking
What's
past, whatever it is.
ah
Do you know what I mean? I don't need
yeah.
now to look at the ground. I just let the
Well, it's
cane.
like now I'm so comfortable in my neighborhood. So sometimes I'll train when I'm training for marathons, I'll run around my neighborhood, but just around my neighborhood without a cane. But if someone asked me, "Hey, why aren't you using your cane?" I would tell them, "I I can do this, but it requires way more
Effort.
yes. Yeah, I got to be way on my shit. I got to be staring way far ahead,
You're
and
um you're a brilliant role model, right? Because you are a situational cane user. Because you
right,
will use a
exactly. There you go.
cane.
Yes.
You will use a cane to walk to your local store and go in there and buy beers and
Yeah, because I
groceries.
know. Yeah, right.
However,
Yep, yep, yep.
if Kelly takes you to that store, you'll walk in there without your cane And
Or
I
I've been in
think
there, yeah, dropped out, yeah.
And I think that's tough because some people think, right, if I use a cane, I've got to go, okay, I'm coming out as blind.
Yeah.
Here's my
Yeah.
cane, and I'm now a full-time blind cane user.
Yeah.
And I think it's quite scary to be a
I think,
situational cane user.
well, it's a, I mean, I look and go, and I'm not, and actually, I'm more seven, I'm probably like 75-25 because realistic, or actually 80-20 because I use it every time I'm going to the Y. If I walk to the YMCA, I use it every time I leave the house, essentially going anywhere. Unless, oh no, actually, I do even use it with my wife,
Unless
even though
you're
I have,
running at speed, in which case, fine, you
yeah,
don't need a cane.
yeah, because I can't,
That makes no
because like
fucking sense.
it's uncomfortable, like because honestly, it's actually uncomfortable, like to run with a cane.
Yeah.
So, and my road is actually not crazy. It's not like super, trafficy road.
And you know the
And
exact
honestly,
layout and the
yeah,
ramp.
and honestly, it's taken years of living here to have gotten to that point because I used to be
Yeah.
like, no, 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 like I'm not gonna do that, like da da da. But then as I'm like, my neighbors know me, like everyone, like, and I only stick to, yeah,
Well,
just a
my
small
my
area.
my 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 neighbors have never seen me with my cane, which is kind of weird because
Is that
I'm
weird, really? Yeah,
I'm a full-time cane user, but
yeah.
I don't use it in my street because obviously I'll jump in a car or a taxi, um, and I don't know, it's weird, and I always think to myself, I don't want anyone to follow me home to the house and know that I'm like a blind guy living here.
You're kind of like
Um,
paranoid that you think because you're like
yeah, well,
you're more
I
like
still
yeah
feel
so
like I live in the hood, and where I live is
oh
actually quite nice. I don't really need to worry. But
yeah
back
I've
in my
been there
old
so yeah yeah
back in my
yeah
old neighborhood, I wouldn't have liked people around that area to know, oh, there's a blind guy lives there because it would have
yeah well,
massively,
well he's a target right
yeah, we can
yeah
rob him. But and I don't, I live in quite a nice area now, so I don't really need to
yeah but you
worry.
know what you say see the situational cane thing actually worked out really well in my favor doing that because it promoted someone to actually talk to me because of that exact thing you just said saying where I when I walked into that my usually one of my
Why were you blind
furniture
yesterday and
stores
today you're not?
yeah yeah like he's like yeah he was like I thought because he was like I came in that particular day with my cane because I was walking from home, and he's like, just like, can I? You mind if I ask you a question? I said, no, go ahead. He's like, well, I seen you in here before, and you didn't have a cane, and today I see you coming with a cane, and I said, and he's like, I thought canes were for blind people, and I said, yeah, that's where you're wrong. He's like, so here's where I'm going to educate you. If you've seen me in here without a cane, it's probably because I got a ride here. And I know your store very well. Like there's not there you don't have any tripping hazards. I know those, I know it pretty well. And I was like, I have actually like extreme tunnel vision, but I have really good acuity. Um, but if you've seen me like today, with a cane, it's because
I've
I'm
walked here.
traveling. Yeah, I've walked here and I have to get through curves and got there were
Obstacles and danger.
obstacles
Yep,
and
yep.
yeah through
And you want to
town and
let other
now
people know, like other
hey, what's
pedestrians, and
up?
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah.
yep. I'm crossing streets. I need to, yep. I can't just go, hey, just because I feel I can go caneless sometimes doesn't
Mm,
always mean it's the best time to
mm,
do it.
mm,
And even if like, even in the street here, I mean, I look and go, anybody can get hit when running with, even people who are sighted would have the same odds of getting hit by a car. So that's how I can rationalize that in my head. If it's something like that where I can go, well, this could happen. I've heard people get hit by a car who haven't. Actually, I know people with RP who have been hit. I've luckily not been hit yet, but I've actually heard of many
I like the
RP
way you
people
say.
who
I like the
run.
way you say. I like the way you say yet. Like
Yeah,
you
yeah,
think it
it's yeah.
might happen.
And I wouldn't be the person like we've discussed. I wouldn't be the person going, "Hey, what the hell? You didn't see me?" Like I'm not gonna get like, I'll defend,
Yeah,
unless it's something where like they blew a stop sign and hit me, because then I'm gonna be like,
yeah.
well, yeah, that would have been avoided if you didn't, do that. But if it's on me, it's on me, that'd be like
I
if I
think
ran into a trap.
I think if Wonder is still on, I think a good
He
option
is.
for him, right, is probably to get an ID cane. Now, I don't know if you've
Yeah,
seen
that's
an
good
ID
progress.
cane
Yeah,
or
right.
you don't know, an ID cane, it's a short cane. It doesn't go to the ground. In the UK, we call it a symbol cane. In America, they call it an ID cane. And it just symbolizes that you have a visual impediment and doesn't reach the ground. You're not supposed to use it to feel the level or the terrain. You're just supposed to use it for sort of knee-high
Just that, like,
obstacles, and just
yeah, yeah,
to
yeah.
symbolize I have a vision problem, and that's a good
I thought
first
it.
step.
I never used mine because I thought when I got it, this was like, what was this? I was still at work. I think I was still
Did you
working. It
think
was
it
like
was for like a
2015.
child or something?
I thought I got the yeah. I thought I was like, did I order the wrong size? Like, yeah, this little. I got this nice green one because I was like, okay, my son's favorite color is green, so I got like this nice green one. And I
Brilliant.
like remember it came in. I'm just like, what is
Well, it's
this?
like I was talking to
Like,
Lance. I was talking to Lance about it, and Lance was like, he got a cool black one, and he said, and like
yeah,
he's
I remember that. Yeah,
realized,
that's right.
he's like, I've realized the whole point of that is it's a symbol to symbolize I have a visual
Yeah,
impairment, and
it's
because
not
I've got
meant
it in black and
to
orange,
use.
it now
Yeah.
doesn't symbolize anything.
Yeah.
It's quite
Oh,
funny.
he says, Wonder says we have to promote better in the Facebook groups. Well, funny story about that there, Wonder. We've tried that many, many times since we've established this show. And kind of hence why we're kind of switching gears on things and making it really more about spreading awareness and kind of like what we're just doing today about sharing what we're doing, what we're up, like what is capable um, with RP and stuff like that. And obviously you're seeing Steve and I in our like we don't see eye to eye on everything, so you're gonna get to see us have our own like debates on things, and we're it's all fun. We're all busting each other's chops, and that's what it's all about right now. But we want to show people that like yeah, you're gonna see someone like me one day with Kane, one day with that. I'm trying to make that normal. I
Yeah.
want people to go, oh, he needs it then because the situation, like I think they'll start understanding the more it becomes normal. Steve, we were just discussing him getting nearly his butt whooped at a bar, like because he had a cane, but he was looking at his phone and he thought he was impersonating a blind guy. And so we need to continue to do these things so that people go,
See, that's raising awareness, isn't it? That's raising awareness.
yeah, like they get it. Oh, I get it.
But we're going to start promoting again in the RP groups, aren't we? In
I
once
think
we've
we
got
should.
our
We will. Yeah,
once
once we
we've
get
got
the
our obviously at the moment we're working on our content. Once we get our content up and running, we've got a few good videos coming out. We'll start promoting in the groups, and we've kind of stopped doing that because just being totally honest, we did a I think the video that broke us, Mike.
Oh, was
We
that the
did
The Kane one?
yes,
Yeah. Ah,
we
we're so
did.
good at that one.
It's on our YouTube channel. Go check it out. Battle of the Cane Tips. Really good video. Mike flew over to the UK and we tested the marshmallow
Literally
tip,
filmed it
the
there.
ball
Yeah, we
tip,
literally.
the
Yeah.
the Dakota disc tip,
The
the
desk.
rover
Yeah, yeah.
wheel. What else do we have? The OmniSense
Oh yeah, I'm in a sense one.
double
Yes,
wheel
yes,
thing. Yeah.
yes.
We tested all of those cane tips in the style of Top Gear. We made a really cool
Ah,
video, right? And we posted it in the RP group and it got 7 likes. And then a girl
and
who
we're
shall remain
like,
nameless posted a picture of her stood in a cute outfit with some post that said something like, "When you're going blind, you need to really focus on the positives." And that got like, I don't know,
like 100 over 100.
1,500
Like yeah, yeah,
likes. Yeah.
yeah, yeah,
And we
yeah.
were
We're like,
like, what's the point here? Like, we've done all that work and only 7 people have watched the
yeah. So we
video.
got kind of discouraged. Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
he
But
says he does have one, by the way. He does have an ID cane
excellent.
that he
Good.
can. He can. Yeah. He's like that's what I got. One that I can fold out.
Yeah.
Yep, that's perfect.
Still embarrassing though, especially when you feel like my eyes are really
Yeah.
good, and it's like I'm almost over now walking along with my cane and then making eye contact and smiling at somebody. And I've had
They're
people
like,
like,
wait a
"Did you
second.
what
Yeah.
what did you like a double take?" And you know what I mean? They're
I'm
like,
telling you.
that blind guy just looked at me."
Oh yeah. I've had a guy, I was on the train and he stared at me the entire train ride until he got off the train because I was on my phone and I had my cane in my lap. Like he just like
I
creepy,
love that.
like
I love
creepily
that. I
stared
love that. I
right
love
in
it.
my
I
face. And
love it. I love it.
I was like,
I've
I
seen pictures over here. There's a charity.
almost.
There's a charity over here called the RNIB. It's a bit like the
Yeah,
FFB,
yeah, yeah, yeah,
and
yeah.
they've been posting recently some cool pictures where they've screenshotted someone's Facebook and someone has been like mocking or roasting a blind person. They're like, this person
Using his,
pretended to be
yeah.
blind to get on this bus, but then they folded the cane away and they sat on the bus. And look, here's a picture of them using an iPhone, so they're clearly not blind. And the RNIB put these posts out saying like, we need to change this stereotype. People, blind
Right,
people,
right.
cane users can often still see a mobile phone, and whoever took this picture needs educating because this is
Oh,
like
so
really.
you're saying vision is a spectrum? You're saying sight? You're saying sight is a
I'm
spectrum?
saying sight is a spectrum. Yeah, I will die on the sword for that one.
I said absolutely, absolutely. Actually, you know what? This is a great segue. You mentioned RNIB, and actually, one of my tethers right here, uh, that's actually where it's from. RNIB.
How
I
did you get
got from
that?
on Amazon.
Oh, and
So
that's
this
from
is
the UK RNIB.
this is
Someone selling that on
RNIB. Yeah,
Amazon.
this is an
Wow.
RNIB. Yep. It says
Wow.
handy life sport. Like yeah. So that's my one of my regular tethers for running. And then I have two custom ones, which this one is awesome because my guide Scott McClure from he's an Achilles guide. We run, do a lot of all my long runs are with him usually. He's an engineer, so he actually engineered this one, which has two cozy, hand grips, so we don't chafe our hands and everything. Because he has a different, his arms lock because he has a visually impaired wife, but his wife runs more rigid, so he's used to being with her where he has to kind of like run more rigid, and so he doesn't move his hand, so which causes my other tether to kind of rub up and down my hand constantly, and obviously long runs, it gets all chafed
Yeah,
and
yeah, yeah.
cut. So he was like, I'm gonna make this. And so he did the measurements based on my other tether. And then he made it cozy. And in the middle, it's got the nice yellow with the reflective, stripe in the middle, really
So that
thick.
that yellow bit in the middle, is that stretchy or is that fixed?
No, solid. This is
That's
yeah, this
solid,
is
right?
okay, solid, yeah, fabric. Kind of like the same kind of materials like a jacket, the vests,
Oh yeah,
your high
yeah,
vis kind of vests. And then I have this one, which I used, which is also custom. They made them when I was in Houston. One of the guys did it for one of the visually impaired athletes did it for a project for Cub Scouts. I don't know if you have Cub Scouts
yeah.
in.
We have Cub Scouts. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Cub Scout project. So it's like a stretchy. This is more like a a bungee cord
Hmm,
kind of thing, and it's got this little cinch in the middle to adjust. So you can
nice.
adjust, for your around your. So you put it around your wrist, and then you just tighten it up, and then it's
So
got.
after doing various marathons and half marathons with those tethers, which is your favorite and why?
I actually do like the one that he made a
Oh
lot.
really?
Yeah, because it's actually really, like I said, it's really comfortable. Like
How
so I
was
put it
it
on
for
my hand.
feedback and direction when he's pulling
Oh,
you?
perfect. Great, because
Right.
it's the same length as the RNIB one.
Yep.
It's and I actually like it since he made it thicker with that reflective. It's more noticeable for people,
Mm.
trying, what happens that we get people to try run between us,
Yep.
and so this is perfect because now it's like between this one and the RNIB one is great too because it's yellow, it's bright.
Mm.
So all the ones that those make all great. The other one is cool because the upside to this one, the bungee one, is I did fall with this at the first Houston half, and instead of pulling my guide with me down to the ground to get bloody as
It just
well,
stretched.
it actually no, it actually broke free.
Oh,
It kind of like it loosened completely, and he kind of like I came off it, and yeah, so
well, that's
I
good.
didn't, and
That's good as
so I
like a
didn't,
safety feature almost.
yeah, because you think the other ones, if I don't let go of it, I fall. You're coming
Yeah.
with me.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
So, but yeah, no, I think that one he made is really, I was like, I think this is actually really great. So it's to me, it's
Did
one of my
um
favorites.
did we tether? Yeah, we
Yeah, we
tethered.
did.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we
we
did.
did. Yeah, we totally did. Yeah, we tethered. We did everything. We
I
did
don't know what
the
tether we
tether. We
used.
had
Did we
the
use my
we had
tether?
pain.
Did we use your tether? I don't know which one we used.
I think we used mine. That one.
Did
Yeah, we
we?
used that. Yeah, I think we used that. Yeah, that one. Yeah, we used that
Right.
RNIP one. So yeah,
Yeah.
no, I think so. Those are options if you're, wonder if I don't know if you're a runner at all, or I know you mentioned before about getting a bike, but that's definitely something to
Mm.
consider. And don't ever like I ran a long time without a tether, because like I had like, probably like wonder I had really good usable vision, which I still kind of do now, but it's definitely not the way it was when I first started with Achilles.
Mm.
So I'd be more like I just needed someone to run next to me. But I find that the tether is like a game changer because now it's like I don't have to focus on where's my guide? Are they close enough? Don't get too
I
close.
think it
Like,
makes the guy's life a bit easier as well because they're not having to
oh yeah,
constantly
oh
talk. They
yeah,
can,
yes, yep. Where they know and it's vice versa. They know where I am, and
Yeah,
I know
yeah,
where they are.
yeah.
There's just it's just less to worry about, and you can go faster. You can go considerably faster being tethered than you can if you think, without it.
Mm.
So Oh, he says, yes, it's easy to get lost with all the content out there. Same in music these days. 90% is about marketing, 10% about the music. That's true. Like that's the other thing. And both of us, we have lives, That's the other problem. Like, Steve works full time. I'm a stay-at-home dad working, doing like, like I have a lot more time obviously probably than Steve does. But you find being at home, I have know there's so many more projects in my house to get done. And so I'm always doing something. So to yeah, to try to promote something like the amount
I
of
think
times that
what'll
we
be good
need
though
to.
this year is we'll get all our content done, and once it's all done, we can then release one video a week, and then we can post the crap out of it, advertise it, do the marketing to try and get it up there and get some views, can't we? And
Right.
the juice is worth a
Because
squeeze.
because mostly it's kind of like been someone like Wonder, where like someone like Wonder, you might, you find us or you're one of our subscribers and you might be like maybe you'll find somebody else who's visually impaired and you might be like, oh, there's this great show and like the RP show, go check it out on YouTube. Like so most of the time I think it's been a lot like that or going live like this, not just here, but we'd go live on Facebook. We got a lot of subscribers that way.
Mm.
We found Vinny, like we said, we found Vinny that way. That's why I think I also like doing this now weekly because it's a chance to interact with our subscribers and maybe YouTube would be like pump pump us into the algorithm a little bit more and maybe we'll find some new people from based on other channels like Sam's Blind Life and things like that.
It's tough now though, isn't it? Like there's so much content out there, and I know when I go on my Facebook feed now, I actually
You're
don't
back.
see
Should I
that
get the dog?
much from my friends. You know what I mean? My feed is just full now of like sponsored links, adverts, random people I don't know. So it's yeah, it's tough. The content is there is a lot of content nowadays.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. All right, coming back through the curtain. Coming back
Here he
through the
is. Here he is.
curtain
Gonna
of the
burst through. There he is,
RP.
straight through the P.
Sure. All right.
You literally just
So
burst straight through the P. That is so funny.
that's awesome.
That works really well. We need to do that on there. And
Yeah,
maybe we
like
need to do that
the
on on the actual video. Like just this is how
that
it's
would
gonna
be fun.
walk
Yeah,
in.
because it looks like
Yeah.
we're coming right. You're coming into the studio. Yeah. Oh
Dun,
yeah, I wonder.
dun,
Just like
dun.
da, da. I wonder. I don't know if you know Top Gear, but yeah, when we started this, show, that's since Steve was British and all that stuff. I mean, I was like, oh, I love Top Gear, and he did too. So I was like, that's how our show needs to be. Like, and the more and more we've done it, that's kind of like how we're trying to do it now, where it's like Steve and I will just be in the studio, quote unquote, talking, and then we might be like, all right, well, hey, what'd you do? Oh, well, I did this, and oh, let's go check it out, and then boom, you'll play,
I think I
play
think
the.
maybe we should post the Battle of the Tips in the RP group because that'd be a quick win. Just to post that video back in there and see how it does again. Because that's such a cool video. So useful.
Your kitchen wall paid the price for that
Oh,
video.
shh, don't bring that up. I'm still not done anything about
Is
that.
that is Anna around?
She's just come home and may hear this conversation, and you could end up getting me into a weekend of DIY and decorating, which
Oh
A, I'm
well,
not
well
very good
since
at, and B, I don't want to do.
Wonder, just let you know that just so yeah, the funniest story was so one scene in the video, we went as crazy as to like we put up a green screen in his kitchen so we could kind of film a like a restaurant
We were
scene.
talking about how people think it's gross that blind people put
Oh,
their
yes, yes.
canes on a table, and that ball tip could have been rolling through dog shit or dog
I agree.
poop or
Yeah,
anything.
yeah.
And then in a restaurant, people just put it on the table like it's absolutely fine. We were just talking about that. And yeah, we did a fake
Like we're
restaurant, didn't we?
showing
With a green screen.
yeah, so we're trying to show different ways how to like yeah, handle the situation and yeah, how to yeah, and what would happen like yeah, what each cane tip would do, like how yeah. Like obviously if you had the Dakota disc on, it would be kind of difficult to just slap that thing on the table and be like this big old disc. Yeah, so I actually do what you do, Steve, now. Ever since you showed me what you do, I still
As
that's
in
my
the little
permanent.
trick on the chair.
Yeah, I still that's exactly what I do now.
What, you
It's
just
that
get the
was that.
cord, put it round,
Yep, rep.
done.
Yep, I
Yeah.
love it. That's been the best thing for me. I was like, I just anytime I go to somewhere that has a chair that allows me to do that, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. That's
It's
a
like
good tip.
perfect.
That is a good tip.
I
That's a
just
very
learned a
good
new
tip.
one from my mom. Like my mom just taught me an O&M thing
Oh, yeah.
because I was discussing with her because in my town they're changing a four-way intersection, the light a regular four-way intersection into like a traffic circle.
Oh, geez.
And I was just concerned about, because that's the way I have to walk to get to the
Yep. You're
YMCA.
gonna go straight through
And
that. Ooh.
I'm worried about like just yeah, a couple things like that, or not being able to like a car hitting me because they're entering the traffic circle or whatever. And she said, she's like, if you want to cross, just wave your cane up and down 3 times. And I said, oh, okay, that's good. And I quizzed Kelly. I said, if you saw me at an intersection and I waved my cane up and down, what would that mean to you as the driver? And she said, probably that
Slow
you want to
down.
cross.
Yeah.
Or she said, probably, yeah, yeah. I was like, okay, good. I'm just being, not that everyone, I'm still no, I know, and I'm sure you know, that there's always, like, when that white, well, for you, it's a green guy. So when the green guy turns on, and over here it's a white guy, I always wait 1 second. Like, I don't cross as soon as that turns because I always know one, there's somebody that's going to blow the light,
Mm-hmm.
or two, I get somebody that's taking a right turn on red. Like they'll decide, and yeah. So I always go. It's like okay, it says I can go. I give it 1 second, and sometimes I actually put my cane out. Like so, being like, okay, well if that gets hit, no big deal. You know, like
Yeah.
I'd rather like okay, let me put that out first. Okay, we're good, and then go. But yeah, so my fear, I told my mom was like, yeah, like because there's so many distracted drivers. Like, how the hell am I supposed to cross now?
I
I
like
I,
that.
I
It's
have
good.
problems
It's a good tip.
now.
I mean, actually, if
Yeah.
I was driving down the road and I
Yes.
saw somebody waving a white cane, the
Yeah.
first thing that would do would get my attention. So then, after they've waved the cane, they've now got my attention. If they start walking out onto the road, I've already
Yeah.
seen them, haven't I? So I'm like, oh, they're wanting to cross. So that's a really good tip.
No, I like that one. That was good. I was like, so that would work for me. The funny thing is, I was walking yesterday to the Y, and my new procedure now is I walk because of there's so much road construction, so I usually take a slightly different way now. But I go down, so when I cross that intersection, which I'm talking about, so I cross that one, and then usually I stay on that side of the street so that I'm walking with traffic coming at me,
Mm.
and then so I get down, and then there's a crosswalk, no light or anything. There's no stop sign. It's just just a painted crosswalk. So I just wait there and I just wait till I can cross. But yesterday, like the right side was clear, but the left side there was like some cars coming, so I was waiting, and I had a feeling the guy was gonna stop and be nice, and he was. And I always usually like give him a like a wave, like thank you, So once in a while you get people like that that are like I've had people must stop out of nowhere, which kind of gets me like kind of stresses me out sometimes. I've had people come flying and all of a sudden they see me with the cane, waiting to cross, and they're like, it's like I'm gonna do a good deed, and then like they like, slam on their brakes to stop, to let me clear. It's
Cause a
like no, 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 like
five-car pile up behind
yeah,
them.
yeah, 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 yeah. I was like, please don't do that. Like, can you just like, it's easier for me to cross when I wait for both cars, like any cars to go, and then I could just hear silence. Once I hear silence, I cross. Yeah, but like, I get it. Like, I'm like, I get it. You're doing something nice, but then I have to make sure the left is clear. There's probably a road on the side here that I have to make sure no one's pulling out from, you know. So it's just a little more like,
You've just reminded me.
yeah,
Last week, I got a taxi into my town, and
okay,
I had to meet a friend at a hotel. Never been there before. Didn't really know the layout, and it was a female taxi driver, which for whatever reason is quite rare in the UK. They tend to always be men, but anyway, this particular time it was a female taxi driver, and
right.
an old lady as well. And where she wanted to drop me off, a bit like your situation, there was all roadworks and there was like workers there with all like the cones out and stuff. And she was like, "Oh, this is gonna be really difficult, right? I'm gonna stop here and let me. I'll have to, it's a bit dangerous. Let me come guide you." I was like, oh, "Okay, fine." Anyway, we get out the cat taxi. It was literally about I don't know 15 feet for me to walk from the car to get safely to the pavement. But because of
Right.
all of the busted up sidewalk and the cones, and it was just a bit chaotic and loud and drills and equipment and everything, she was like, "Oh, I'll get you there." But she grabbed my arm and basically dragged me, like,
Oh no,
and
the Campbell toe.
yeah. And I was just like, and I thought, like, I just know certain people would be like, "Oh, don't drag me. That's now you guide a blind person." But I was just I didn't correct her
I
or
don't.
anything.
Yeah,
I
exactly.
was just like,
Yeah.
thank you so much for jumping out your cab, blocking the entire road, and getting me safely onto there. And she's like, right,
Yeah.
wait.
If this one was,
She's like,
yeah.
where you stood now, you passed all the danger, you're safe. She's like, do you need me to take you inside? And I was like, no, I've just got to wait here for my friend, and he's gonna come and find me. And but I
Oh,
thought, bless her.
by the way, Wonder says he could do a jingle for us, an
Oh
intro
yeah,
thing when you're
that'd be
coming out
awesome.
from when you're coming out from the logo. Laugh out loud.
Yeah,
Yeah, we would actually. Yeah, we'd actually have always mentioned like we would love to have
our
like
own RP show
we actually want our
jingle.
own. Yeah, we want our own like not music we've used or yeah other things we found like royalty free stuff or whatever. Like we
That'd be
actually would like to
sweet.
have. Yeah, we would love to have that. We'd definitely take you up on that. So.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
And we're not like well I think the only thing I mean, Steve and I are very similar there. We would want it to be like kind of like badass, like
Yeah,
you know, something similar to what we what we've been doing, something rocking or something, just upbeat, something cool.
yeah.
Yeah, we're not like crucial on that. Like as long as it's like something cool, like that just the fact that someone making something for us, that'd be kind of cool.
Please, we don't mind a free jingle. It's just got to be cool. That's
Yeah, yeah,
not
that's the only thing we want. Yeah, yeah, yeah,
that's not
yeah.
cheeky at
Thanks,
all, Mike.
thanks,
Yeah,
yeah. Thanks for the free jingle, but it better be good. It better be
yeah.
good.
Did we have any other questions or anything on the live? Anyone?
Nothing yet. So that was the last thing. I wonder. So far, Wonder's been our. Sweden loves us.
I love Sweden.
Love Sweden. I've never been there, but at least I know I could say,
I'll take you
I
next time.
know
Next time
somebody.
you come over.
I said Sweden's not that far from you, right?
No, not as far as
Or
America.
yeah, no. It's like I feel like you can get anywhere in the UK with like a 2 hour flight. You can get anywhere like like
Yeah,
Italy. You can get to like all
yeah.
like the
Sweden, Switzerland,
like France and all
Norway,
right, right.
Denmark, France, Italy. Oh, maybe Italy's a bit
Like
further. Italy and Greece
oh,
might
is
be
that
more like four
like
hours,
third?
but yeah,
Oh, 4 hour. Okay.
yeah. But yeah,
Yeah.
so lucky for that.
Yeah, I think yeah. That's what I think is funny when you're like, Steve's always when Steve met me, he always finds it funny. He's like, how have you not like been to all these states in the United States? I'm like, you know how far, like, like it is for me.
Well, the other
Like,
thing I didn't know, which you've
yeah.
educated me on, I didn't know that in America you have very, very, very little freedom, don't you? Like for like
Oh, right.
employment wise, like you don't get
Yeah,
like in the U.
yeah.
I don't know what it is in Sweden. It'd be good if Wonder can comment, but in the UK, like in your contract for employment, it's usually like a minimum of 25 paid days holiday or vacation time. Um, whereas in America um, you guys get a lot less, don't you, in terms of like
Oh
paid
yeah,
time
no.
off. So
It's
like it's not typical for you guys to go and spend like, I don't know, 3 weeks on vacation. Not every year.
yeah, no,
You
no.
kind of
You
got
have
to
to be
like build up to it, and
yeah,
you have to like accrue
if
it at certain
you're
companies, and
yes.
yeah.
Yeah, like usually it's like if it's a good company, like my wife works at a pretty good company, so I think she gets like sick time, X amount of sick time, she gets X amount. Now she's been there so long, she's like a lot of vacation time. But like when you usually
So
start at a
vacation
job,
time, is
yeah.
vacation time the same as PTO?
No, PT like some companies here might only give you PTO. Like they'll give you that in lieu of sick time and vacation time.
Whoa, really?
Yeah, yeah. You might have a company that's like, we don't offer, you don't get vacation. There's no vacation time and there's no
So
sick time.
what's
You
the
got
difference
PTO.
between sick time, vacation time, and PTO? I'm not sure if I've got this straight in my mind.
All right. So like, I mean, like I said, for instance, yeah. So sick time is still the same idea. Like in terms of like you would use it. Obviously, you'd use it if you're calling out sick or like you got to go
Yep.
get
And you get paid
a doctor's
full pay?
appointment. Yeah. You'll still get full pay. Yep.
Yep.
So that's just say your regular sick time.
Yep.
Usually sick time is not as much and it probably accrues different
Yep.
than your vacation time. Vacation time is usually like most starting jobs is 2 weeks. Like if you're going to a new job, you're usually getting 2 weeks. And actually,
Every
sometimes
year,
it's not
two
even.
weeks, every year, full pay.
Actually, no, it might be 2 weeks, and then maybe you're there. Yeah, if you make it there, let's say a year, some jobs might be like, okay, we'll give you 3 weeks.
Oh, okay.
You'll up, and then if you're here for another, now it's like maybe it's 3 years you got to be the company, and then they'll give you Now you might get up to four, like it's some companies it takes a while. Yeah. And some
Oh.
companies you're not getting 2 weeks off the bat. Like it's usually, okay, you got to be here 90 days. After 90 days, you can start accruing vacation time or something. Like it all varies company to company. It's not like, yeah, you guys seem to have a more uh kind of cross, like, everyone, a lot of employers pretty much, like follow a certain standard, right?
And what
So
about PTO?
pay time off is, yeah, like I said, might be like yeah, I think I had a friend. I think the mail service is that way. I don't think you
Oh,
get vacation time or you don't get sick time.
that's
You just
wild.
get
That is
like you
wild.
might get 20 hours of or 40 hours of PTO or something, and then you would use
Wow.
it, and you can use it like exactly. So if you're sick, you could use and you want to get paid, you use your PTO or that. Yeah, the nice thing about having vacation time and sick time is that, yeah, so you could take a day off for being sick, and it doesn't affect you're not using a vacation day, you
Mm.
know. So you
Yeah.
can if
So in the UK, you're not allowed to use your PTO for sickness.
like, oh, okay.
So you might get, we get full sick pay, but
Yeah.
it's like it's considered pretty bad to have time off sick. So if you they go off the number of times you're off sick rather than the amount of time. So
Okay.
so if you were off for a week and I was off for one day,
Yeah.
and then 2 months later you were off for another week and I was off for another day, and then 2 weeks after that you were off for another week and I was off for another day, even though
Yeah.
I've had 3 single days off and you've had 3 single
Weeks.
weeks off,
Week off. Yeah.
we would both be disciplined and given a warning
Really? Same. Oh,
because you've
doesn't.
had
Oh, wow. Doesn't
you've had three occasions of
like.
sick inside a 3 month
Oh.
window, and then
Okay.
if you have four, you'd probably possibly go to like a disciplinary, and then you get like a warning, and then a written warning, and then a final written
That's
warning, and
right.
then dismissed.
Yeah. Yeah. Right.
Um,
Wait. So when you get, how do you get? How would you? Okay. So when you're calling, do you call out sick and you get? How do you get paid for being out sick then?
yeah, you just call your boss, say, "Oh, I'm not coming in this week. I've broke my leg. I'm off sick for 2 weeks,"
Yeah.
and that'd be classed as like one occasion
Like.
of sick.
Okay.
But if you phoned
Oh.
up
Okay.
on Monday because you're
Yeah.
19 and you've been out
Yeah.
all night partying and
Yeah. Yeah.
You call up on Monday
Yeah.
morning, that's
Yeah.
just
I don't feel like it.
classified same as someone who's broke the leg and been off a week for sick. It's just like,
Oh, wow.
and
Wow.
it's
Okay.
kind of clever the way it works because you get like, young people that are off every Monday or always sick on a Friday when the sun is shining. So it sort of stops them patterns if you, that's the idea behind it.
Right. Oh, Wonder says Europe is like Texas in size almost, which is true because I know I found not Texas, but I know the England is the size of like I forgot what state we said. There was a certain state we looked up and I'm like, this pretty much is like the same size as England. But
Yeah,
yeah, Texas is
we
even
checked it
huger.
out, innit? Yeah.
Yeah, we actually looked into it. We're like what state is like close to the same area as, yeah.
Yeah.
And that's crazy. But yeah, no, Texas is definitely probably the size of Europe. Yeah,
Yeah.
because Texas is massive.
But I didn't know that
Um,
about Americans. Because only when you watch the movies, you see, Americans going off on family vacations. But then as I've got to
yeah,
know you guys, like in the
it's
UK,
not.
everybody goes away for 2 week vacation in the summer, maybe two or three times, but they all
Yeah,
get
it's
paid. And if you don't use it, you lose it.
Yeah,
So
America's more like you were like you we want to work you to the ground, to the bone.
yeah,
We don't want you to get. Oh, he says he gets 5 weeks paid
yeah,
here for
that's
vacation. And he thinks it's the law. It's in the law.
yeah, same
Oh,
here.
we got a new one. We got Coach Sundus. He says hi.
Hey,
Hi,
Coach
Coach Sun.
Saunders.
So, Sundus, are you a subscriber or are you somebody that happened to find our live stream through, YouTube?
You've just joined
I'm
to the
a,
most boring live ever. We're talking about employment law.
Yeah. So where are you from and what are your employment? Are you from America or, or in Europe, where it's like way better than here?
But yeah, I didn't know that about the States.
That's funny. I know because, yeah, he's like I'm like even I said to you, I'm like, you're always going on holiday. You're doing this, like, and it's like you're like, yeah, like, and I was almost like you, but the reverse, going, wow, that's really nice because he goes there, he goes on vacation. This, what he does this. It just seems so foreign to me.
Yeah, it's funny,
As
isn't it?
yeah, as an American, I'm like, no, like we don't do that here. Like, yeah, you're really You're very scarce with
You're like the land
your.
of the free, but I've got the least freedom in the
Yeah.
world. I think even China get more holidays than you guys.
Yeah,
Um,
right,
but I might have to
right.
fact check that. But
It's
yeah,
like land
funny.
of the free. Land of the free. When I say you can.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're free to go. Oh, he's from Pakistan.
Ah, greetings.
So what's well, yeah, what kind of vacation setup you got there in Pakistan? Do you guys get paid vacation like for like if you like when you get go to a new job, what's we're kind of curious what it in other countries what it's like. Oh, he says there's no such thing as paid leave here.
Wow, same as America. Oh, no, you get
Yeah,
some,
wow.
but like not much.
Well, yeah, we at least yeah, like we're saying here we get like when in the America it's usually 2 weeks vacation and you might get like X amount maybe a couple days
Could
of
you take,
sick time.
if you don't get paid time off, could you take like a
Yes.
week vacation unpaid?
Oh yeah, that would be called you could get they have FMLA family like family medical like leave.
But what about if you
Um
like, yeah, I just want to go to Ireland and I want to go and do a tour of Europe. Can I have 3 weeks off? Would that be
I
like
don't know if they
typical
would.
or?
I feel like no, I don't think it'd let you do for that. Like you think because you have to be,
Oh,
you'd
okay.
have
It's
to
more like
like I
a
said you could get if yeah if you had a family emergency you could get with
right.
that like what's that it's called family
But
FMLA.
not just because you want a good life or a big
Yeah,
adventure. It's got
no,
to be
because
for
you're like I don't mind
like a
going
legit
hey
reason, basically.
yeah, I don't know what they would do if you were just like, yeah, I don't, you don't have to pay me, but I want to take like, I don't have the vacation time, but can I get approved? You might be able to do it. They'll just be like, well, you're not gonna get paid though, and they'd be like, yeah. I mean, I think if it's like a situation where you know that
Mm.
you might be able to get approval maybe, but I don't know. That one, I've never seen someone who'd want to take. I've never seen anybody in a position where they could be like, oh, I could take 2 weeks off unpaid. It's okay. Oh, they
Wow.
work 6 days a week. They work 6 days a week.
Wow.
So wow, that's crazy. So you know, what about like coach? What about like vacations? Do you ever go on a vacation? Or okay, most people just pretend to be sick, or make an excuse like a wedding, or death or DES, deaths in the family. Oh, a death in the family.
Wow. Interesting.
Can't come in today. Uncle just died.
At a
Didn't your
wedding.
uncle die? Yeah, didn't your uncle die like last month? Oh yeah, aunt passed away.
Wow.
Like just got some relative passed away. I won't be in. Yeah, I won't be in today for the next few days. Wow, man, that's crazy. So yeah, you just have to. Wow, you know what? It's funny about that. We all think we have it the worst. It's like there's always somebody that has it worse. Like we have. So,
Like Ryan
uh,
thinks we've got it the worst, and I'm like, no, dude, you need
no,
to
no, you
pay
got it. Like
attention.
you guys, you have it really well. Actually,
But
yeah.
it
I
makes a
like I
lot of
said,
sense because I'm like, especially you guys. I was
yeah.
surprised that when it was like, yeah, let's come over to the UK. You know, we've done RP Fest every year in America. Why don't you come to the UK and we'll do it here? And like, no one was up for it. And like, I was like, wow, that's like, I thought Eric would be up for it. I thought Lance would be up for it. I thought Vinny,
Oh
Ed,
yeah,
and
yeah.
then, but then when you guys explained to me, like, Vinny was like, well, if I was to do that, I wouldn't be able to have any other time off with my family. And I was like, whoa, really? And it was like, yeah, I get like a week.
Yeah, I get that we are. I
And I was
guess
like, you
yeah, or you get
only get a
sued.
week. I was like, that would be illegal in the UK.
Yeah, so that's what's nuts about that.
And it
Yeah,
sounds
so it's
like
like,
Wonder's saying the same in Sweden. It's
but I said a good company though. Like you said, when I was working at my last job at Prime, this is the only bummer thing is because I left after when I left, I didn't like it restarted when I went back. I had took a voluntary leave after like 5 years, and I ended up going back after like 4 months.
oh, did you lose
But
what you'd
yes,
left?
I
What?
lost all my
Oh,
accruement. So
oh
like
man.
I think when I left, I think I had 3 weeks vacation or something like that because I reached 5 years.
Wow.
And it's like yeah, so I all restarted. Yeah, and that kind of that
Oh, that
sucked.
sucks.
Back to 2 weeks. I lost that week. So it's like so yeah, that kind of stuff, that's kind of a bummer. So he said, so funny. Sometimes they forgot who they had killed already. He thinks it's funny. Like my uncle, yeah, my uncle died. Oh, I mean my aunt died. I mean my grandma, my
It's
grandma's
like,
dead. Yeah.
dude, how many uncles have you got?
Dude, you've been out 6 times.
Yeah.
You got a massive family. Well, oh, jeez. Yeah,
I
that's right. Oh,
think
that's why you got.
I think in Pakistan they have like really big weddings as well, like big,
Oh,
big
there you go.
celebrations for
Yeah,
like
so I'll
for
be
a few
I'll be
days.
out for
Yeah.
a month. I'll be out for
Yeah,
a
yeah,
month. I got a big wedding coming up.
yeah.
Oh man, like I just can't believe I always assume everywhere around the world like there's like certain laws and certain things, but like wow. Oh, we get other holidays, Christmas, one day, Labor Day, and some others like National Day,
Oh,
etc.
don't you have a
All
Labor
right.
Day in
Yeah,
America?
we do. Yeah,
Yeah.
September. We Labor Day.
Oh,
So yeah, okay, all right. So it's kind of like so at least Christmas we get like no, we get a week usually or for like I know when I was still working it was we got Black Friday off. So
no
that was
way. You
usually
get Black Friday off.
we didn't originally. I think we did it, but then yeah, we used to get. So I used to be like, yeah. So that was nice. So I got Thursday. So you get the long weekend, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. That was cool. Christmas, I think was like yeah, the whole like week usually, like the following week. Yeah. So if it was like Christmas was the Thursday usually off, and I think we get like a couple days after,
Nice.
and until the New Year. So like so sometimes like yeah. So some companies are like that. Like, but some companies like no, you're like. My wife usually takes off sometimes around Christmas. She'll use like, because she has so much saved up. So she'll put in like for like the last couple
Some
weeks of like the year.
like some of that's similar over here. Like sometimes there's a lot of businesses over here that will actually shut for 2 weeks over Christmas, so they're just
Right.
completely off for 2 weeks. But then there's, if you work in a restaurant or a bar or a shop, you are screwed because it's like it's their busiest time. Everyone's out having Christmas parties and stuff.
Right.
So
And
especially
obviously you have to
young people are screwed because they've got to work like all over
yeah.
it. Yeah.
And obviously I know I'm pretty sure I'm assuming it's the same way you are. Like for instance, if you were gonna get like I say a long holiday, you have to be at work the day before and the day after to get paid. Like you couldn't call out sick, say like you have to like the long holiday. Like I would say, it's like a bank holiday or something. You have like usually you get. I know, but if you like say came back like instead of coming back to work, you ended up calling out sick. Do you still get paid for those days?
Yeah.
Really? See, over here, like say for instance, if it was Thanksgiving, so obviously off Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, you have to be at work Thursday and Monday to get paid for
Oh,
that
I
day.
see. I see.
So if you were to call out sick Monday, you wouldn't get paid because they'd be
Right.
there's that. So it's like you have to have been work. Yeah. So there's little things like that. Oh, he said healthcare. He says healthcare and stuff is good here. Can't complain. Get 20 white canes and 10 glasses. Max we pay is like $50. Socialism works. So, all right. That sounds good. 20 white canes, man. Wow. I only have one. I only need two. Like, I should get it. Actually, I want to get a backup one. I want to get two. I want to have at least like, I would like to get another one just to have a backup something
I should
happens
do
to
that, especially as I
mine.
keep losing them or snapping them,
Or throwing them into water.
throwing them into random
All
lakes in Geneva.
right.
Um, oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's a rough one. Thank God
that
Anna was there for that, man.
that reminds me, I've just bought a new rover wheel.
Oh, cool.
So I had two rover wheels,
Yeah.
and then I lost my Ambitech cane and a rover
Yeah,
wheel
that's right. That
in
was with
in,
it. Yeah,
in
that's right.
Geneva. So I got a new Ambitech cane, um, and I had my spare wheel on it. But the spare wheel is a bit dodgy. It's got a bit like I think I told you
Like
a kid ran
oh,
into it and,
that's
stood on it.
right.
And
Yeah,
I
and it
fixed it,
like
but it's never quite been. It's like wobbling on the axle, so it's not quite as nice. So anyway, I've just bought a new one because, as you know, I've got a secret
right.
challenge coming up. So I thought
That's right. Need that.
I better have a backup wheel. Um, but what I actually haven't got is a backup cane, which maybe I should think
Yeah,
about
I need that.
in case.
I actually found a good use for I think I found a good use for that Dakota disc now because I want to do snowboarding next year. So,
Wow.
and I thought that's the perfect cane for it. Like that's like that would be mint because one of my Scott works with people. My pilot, he works with adaptive athletes for skiing and stuff like that and snowboarding. And he has one that's like he has a kid that's completely blind, and he uses a cane when he snowboards. And
Yeah,
I'm like, that's mint. I go, I was like, what the Dakota disc would be like, perfect. Like I just feel like swiping it as I'm going down, and yeah, that'd be cool. That'd be
yeah.
perfect for that
Well,
situation.
that's what I do with. just a typical skate, just the typical ski poles, because
Okay,
I
yeah,
I
right.
just drag them in the snow behind me, and it just gives
Yeah.
me that really good
It's
sense of
enough.
where I'm
Like,
traveling. Am I diagonal?
yeah.
Am I straight? Am I drifting? That's the main thing. I what you on a snowboard particularly. The
Yeah, you
main
don't
thing.
know.
It's not like using the Dakota disc to stop you hitting an obstacle. What you want to know is, are you drifting,
That
especially in
you're
the
actually
turn?
going. Yeah, right. Yes, yeah. Because like I said, without like I might luck out because I still have usable vision, so I might be able to at least
Yeah, but dude, I'm
tell a
telling
little
you,
bit. But yeah, it's probably
even
gonna be a lot
fully
worse.
sighted people on a cloudy,
Oh
whiteout
yeah,
day,
when it's all
like
yeah, right. That'd be
I
nuts.
always hear the sighted people saying, like, "Oh my God, I like just couldn't tell if I was drifting because the
Yeah,
ground white, the sky's white, the trees are white, and I just
and on
you do
snowboards, you're more like that. You're more traveling
a lot
like
more drifting,
across. Yeah,
which is
drifting.
what
Yeah,
makes it fun because you want to drift. That's part of it. It's a
yeah,
bit like drifting in a
yeah.
car. On a racetrack, you
That's
kind of
yes,
want that,
yes.
but in a car, it's a lot more obvious when you're drifting, and you can really
Oh
feel
yeah,
it,
feel the weight
and you get
and
the
yeah,
feedback
right.
in the steering wheel. But it's like on a snowboard, you don't feel it as much. So
Ah, okay, right.
you feel like I've drifted 1 foot, but you might have drifted 25 feet
More.
like off
Oh
your line,
yeah,
and you're like, whoa, I did not feel it.
yeah.
Especially if you hit a really nice patch of snow, like silky smooth,
Oh, and just go.
you don't
Yeah,
notice it. Weirdly, on ice you do because you can kind of hear it and feel it. It's a bit more, because ice is solid, so the edge
yeah,
of the
right.
board starts to scratch on it, and you can feel little bumps and imperfections. So you're like,
Oh,
whoa,
right.
I
Yeah,
am
yeah.
drifting big time. But then you hit a nice patch of beautiful snow, and it's like a silky smooth carpet, and you're like, am I still moving?
Am I going?
What? Am I going forwards or backwards? I
I kind of like
literally
the
can't feel anything.
idea. I'm a little more excited about the way we stop on a snowboard than stopping in a
Yeah, just
with
digging in the
skis.
edge.
Just yeah, just and if I fall, just fall back, just sit, and then if
Just
I
sit
have to, I'll
down.
fall backwards. Yeah, sit down. So it's I'm a little more comfortable with that, whereas I'm not as good stopping yet with skis. I'm getting
It's a
better, but
lot harder to stop on
like
skis.
pointing, yeah, doing the yeah, because I think sometimes the
It's a
poles
lot
will have the
it's a lot more skillful. There's no skill on a
yes,
snowboard. It's very easy.
yeah, right, right. Oh, that's so. Didn't you say that, or someone said that?
Yeah.
Like where it's like the snowboard you can learn quicker, like but something else, and then but like we're skiing, it's like it takes
Years.
like long time to actually master. Like yeah,
Yeah.
like you don't get good just off the bat. Yeah.
No. No.
Like you can get up and be decent, but yeah, like it takes a long time to master. Whereas like it takes fewer times to master a skateboard. But yeah,
Yeah.
but you're also like you said, you don't have that sense of knowing which way you're going.
Yeah, you feel it a lot more on the skis, and because you've got a pole in each hand as well when you're skiing.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah. So you
if
can,
you drag them poles in the ground, you can really feel whether you're turning left, whether you're turning right, whether you're drifting. And if you drift on purpose because you want to do like a cool skid, you can really like feel it. Whereas on a board, typically you've got nothing in your hands, so there's no contact with the ground, so you don't get that much feedback, and that's where you can run into a bit of confusion if you can't see, obviously.
I would say, coach says one company where I work, if you were absent on Friday, they would take Saturday and Sunday and minus it from your salary.
Wow.
And if you are absent on Monday, then they would also add Saturday and Sunday.
Wow, I get that.
Yeah, it's like that's
I've had the problem
yeah.
with that. When I used to manage young people, they'd be out partying all weekend. And then
Yeah.
on Monday, no one's ever off on a Tuesday or a Wednesday, but
Yeah,
loads of people are
right.
off
Yeah,
on like,
yeah, Monday.
somebody 18 to 25, like off on a lot of money. I'm like, this is the fifth time you've been off on a Monday morning. Like, what the hell?
And it sucks with yours because like, well, I think we're getting it too. Even Kelly's company, she had the same problem getting rid of somebody. You have to like
Yeah, yeah.
it has to be like a whole process.
Yes.
It's like it's a long it's not like you just like, okay, this is
Not
like the
like on the
second time.
TV when you're like, you're fired.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Third time, you've been out three times, like you're done.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah. It's like you said, what is it? Like, okay, now you're this many times you've been out, you know what? We need to have a talk. And
yeah,
then maybe like you keep doing it, it's like, okay, well now we have to have now you have a probation. You're on, yeah. It's like, okay, now you've done it again. I mean, that could be 3 or 4 months. They're still working,
Mm.
and there's that. That's yeah,
Yeah.
that's crazy. Whereas you already know, like this dude's got to go.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. You know, deep down inside.
You already know, like I mean, you
Yeah.
said you've bought, you've been the boss of many people. I'm sure you've
Mm.
already known that like this person's not going to make it. Like, but I can't just fire them.
No.
It's like I have to slowly do it. Well, if
Well,
anybody's got any last questions or anything,
yeah, we need to wrap it
add it
up. I
out.
need to go and have my tea. We're 4 minutes
Yep, tea
late.
time. Tea
Um,
time. Tea
but
time.
thanks for our guy in Sweden for joining again, second week running,
Yeah. Thanks for Wonder
and welcome to
Coach.
Coach from Pakistan.
Yeah. Yeah. Coach Sundus. All right. Yeah, yeah. We're getting all the international people. We didn't get,
Yeah.
that was good today.
And we'll just
Yeah.
close by saying we're working on our YouTube channel. We've got a load of videos coming out in the next couple of months. But bear with us because that's going to be a little while. We've got a load of filming to do, a load of editing to do.
And
Um,
like projects, yeah, we have things that yeah, secret
got to wait for
projects we have
our
going
new
on.
Swedish jingle for the intro. So
Yeah. You know what?
few things in the pan.
Oh, Coach loves snowboarding, by the way.
Oh wow!
And Wonder says later. Yeah, Wonder, if you want, if you are serious about actually making a jingle for us, you can email us. It's the RP Show 2021 at gmail.com. And feel free to reach out to us. And yeah, I'd be down to like, we definitely would love that. Like, that'd be cool.
Yep. And follow us on our socials, the
Yep.
VI guy on
Yep.
Instagram and
Tubiac
the
Maniac over
RP
here.
Show on Instagram and
Yep.
Tubiac
Boom.
Maniac also on Instagram.
And the gram. So later, guys.